If you're looking to buy any Ultimate Team coins, check out FIFACoinZone.com and use code IHAS for 5% off at checkout. Hey guys, IceCarrot here and welcome to this week's Marquee Matchup Investment Guides. We have a lot of different games that could be on this week. So what I'm going to do in the future Marquee Matchup videos, at the start of each video I'll have a list of all of the matchups so you guys don't really have to sit through the whole video and look through my suggestions. So if you want to see all of the games, here they are on the screen now. So you can see the games are MK Dons versus Wimbledon, Derby versus Nottingham Forest, Boca Juniors against River Plate, Tarina, Juventus, then we have United versus Spurs, PSG, Nice, Benfica Sporting, and finally Anderlecht versus Club Brugge. So out of these games, it's actually really tough to pick 4 games to do with the marquee matchups. For one which I say wouldn't be featured would probably be the United Spurs game, just because EA don't really always put it like a Prem game in there, or maybe the PSG Nice game might not be there. But the ones I say would be, I'd say MK Dons versus AFC Wimbledon. That is probably like a high chance one. And maybe the Anderlecht Club Brugge match. But it's always so hard to predict which ones will be there. Here are all of the matches. And when you're investing, right now I'm going to say only pick up cards for their minimum. Because if you're picking up for them more and the matchup doesn't come out, you might make a loss. But now let's get into possible investment players. So the first match, MK Dons versus AFC Wimbledon. So this match I reckon is likely to come. However, due to the recent FA Cup hybrid squad builder challenge, these players, like the ones which aren't bronze, so most of these will probably require silver players. Most of these players have already risen up quite a bit in price. So I don't really think it's worth investing in this game right now. Maybe if you do maybe if you have some players in your club or you win it on a bid or a snipe, it could be a good investment. But right now, this game, I would just leave it. Sadly, because since that squad builder challenge came out, it's kind of messed up the possible investments with this one. Maybe once the squad builder challenge goes, the players might drop a little bit, but they still won't be nowhere near their minimum. The game Derby County versus Nottingham Forest. So this one, again, with the silver cards, they've already risen up quite a bit. And I don't really think these 2 games would require gold cards. If there would be a rating on it, I'd say it'd probably be around 70 rated, 71 rated at a push. So probably too high for bronzes, but maybe if you could pick up a couple of silver like that CDM Vorgan for 200 coins, that's actually a deal on its own. I may as well just list it up right now, to be honest. If you can pick up any of these cards on the snipe, then fair enough. That is a decent pick up or deal. But to be honest, if you're not picking them up near their minimum price, I would just stay away from these games, to be honest. Silver cards and bronze cards as well, they're easily price fixed. They're quite hard to pick up cheap unless you're sniping them. So this game, again, if you want to pick up your own investments, feel free to, but personally I'm going to be skipping. The next game, Boca Juniors versus River Plate. And already the River Plate players are so high in price. They always get price fixed because there's so little of them on the market, to be honest. They're all going, unless the gold cards, they're all going for over 500, 600 coins. So there's no chance you're really going to be picking these up. And if it would be an investment, it'd be more of a snipe. If we take a quick look at Boca Juniors as well, these players, they are a lot cheaper compared to River Plate, but that's just really the bronze players and a couple of silver cards. Again, half of these teams, if they've been used before or used in any squad builder challenges, the players are already price fixed and you just can't invest in them. It's really annoying that even if I did these videos 2 weeks early, you still can't really invest in some players just because some people have already price fixed them. It's quite annoying, and that's why some people don't really like the marquee matchups anymore, just because everything gets price fixed. So this game, Tarina versus Juventus. This one is one of the possible ones which actually you could invest in, because for the Juventus players, I know the non-rare golds are have gone up a load in price, but say the likes of a Mandzukic card, if you can pick him up under 900 coins, it might be a decent investment, just because he's a high rated card. If people are going to use a squad, you could pick him up. And then also the likes of these left back positions, I don't really know if a silver card would cut it, so you might have to go for a gold card. If you can pick up a gold goalkeeper, left backs and right backs are risky in case they go free at the back, but usually those are the ones where you make the most profit, because there's low players in that position and there will be high demand for it. Next game, United Spurs. Again, just like the Italian League match, you just want to be looking for like positions where there aren't too many players. So I would be looking for maybe United right backs, left backs. It might be like a riskier one. However, that would be like a sort of better investment because you would make more profit. So the likes of Darmian, he could actually be a decent investment. 600 coins, I know it's quite expensive, but say if you pick him up on the sniper or bid, you might get him a little bit cheaper than that, if possible. So he's probably one of the best United investments to make. And then if we look in left back position as well, we have the likes of Rojo, and he is quite cheap as well. So these are the sort of players you want to be looking more towards, but still they aren't going for their minimum. Rojo for 500 coins is a decent pickup, to be honest. I reckon if there actually does the squad builder challenge, he might go up to like near 1,000 coins. But usually in these marquee matchups anyway, the requirements are only like 2 players from the big clubs. So these investments really on marquee matchups aren't that good anymore unless you're that person who price fixes all of the cards. The next game, PSG versus Nice. So due to the actual Lacazette squad builder challenge, half of these players are still really high in price. So like, I guess if you pick them up on the snipe, you're going to be making a lot more profit. I'd probably stay away from the PSG players, maybe look more towards the Nice players, but still they are going to be quite expensive because from the squad builder challenge for Lacazette, they'd all risen up in price. Like, I guess you can get some of them for like, say if I pick this snipe up, 500 coins on a card, not too bad, but he is a cam. So with position wise, I would stay away from like the changed positions, look towards centre mids, centre backs, right back, left back, strikers really. Because the wingers, it could be a right mid, it could be a right wing, it could be a right forward. It's quite hard to predict, and especially with cams as well. So goalkeepers like Cardinal, he could be a good investment, but still 550 coins. I guess at worst you're only going to lose about 150 coins per card. But to be honest, marquee matchup investments, I don't really think of the way forward for profit too much anymore. I'd rather like the player of the month investments or even some weekend league ones, which I will get onto later on. So the next game, Benfica Sporting. Even like the Benfica plays, you can't get for the minimum now. Like with the marquee matchup, to be honest, it's unless you make your investments like a month in advance, you're not really going to be able to pick any up that cheap. The Sporting players are a bit cheaper, so rather than Benfica, maybe pick up a couple Sporting players like this guy, 400 coins, striker, like that. There is a good investment. I know someone would have picked him up already. But if you can get a card for 500 coins or less, it's a decent investment. It doesn't really matter who it is, to be honest, because there's no risk. And if the team gets picked, he might rise up like a couple hundred coins. You could maybe double your coins, but still, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of marquee matchup investment. So the last game, Club Brugge versus Anderlecht. And this game, to be honest, this is the one where like the profit would be at, to be honest, if they pick the matchup. Because there are like, it goes from gold players to non-red gold. Like, they're all quite cheap, to be honest. I know they've risen already. Like the likes of Van Kent, he will go up a load if this gets picked, if there's like a rating requirement on it. And maybe they might even do like, use a different couple nations, just because in the Belgian league there aren't too many like different nations. So like Hani could be a decent investment. The only problem is we have the likes of cams and CDMs like Tarina, I can't even say his name. But that is a good striker investment. I know he is going for 600 coins and you would want to pick him up as cheap as possible. But to be honest, I don't really see that happening. Like the right back here, I doubt they'll use bronzes for this matchup. The rating will probably be like a mid 70. So you'd either need some gold, non-red gold or some silver players. But it's still always like, with the matchups, if you look at the previous ones, EA have only really been used like 1 or 2 players from the actual matchup team, and then the rest of it have been from the league. So maybe you want to look at some league investments for the different leagues, so the Belgian Pro League or the Argentinian League for a River Plate game. But to be honest, most of the cards have already risen up quite a lot in price, and EA are like making it harder and harder to sort of predict and like invest in the exact players to make a lot of profit. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want like future marquee matchup investments, drop a comment down below. To be honest, I don't really think it's like the best way of investing, just because there's so many teams they can usually be, and even if you get the team right, it's only a certain chance that your player might rise in price, because usually they only use 1 or 2 players. You might not have got the rating right, the position might not be in the formation, and usually by the time you actually go around to making your investments, the prices have already risen up from people doing it months and months in advance. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you actually enjoyed this video. Drop a comment down below if you think there's any other games that could be used in this marquee matchup. To be honest, I think I've covered most of them. There are a load of games here and it's so hard to pick 4. And even like last week, EA only used 3 games. So if they do 3 games again, that would be pretty annoying. But we'll have to wait and see. And one more thing, if I'm early for when the matchups drop, I'll actually bring you the completed squad builder challenges when they're out. But usually it comes out at like a weird time at like near midnight or early in the morning. It's really hard to actually predict the timing. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you on the next video.